Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah. Tonight, I wanted to share with you a model that has helped me a lot through the last few weeks and that I've spoken about before, but tonight I wanted to talk to you about it with a visual to guide me. Now, you will notice tonight is a bit different to normal. I'm not doing a live tonight. That is because I am busy preparing for a webinar that I'm running tomorrow. So I've just actually finished delivering training to the Gippsland Community Leadership Program now. This was one of the things I spoke to them about, so I thought I'd share it with you too. This little model here is known as Stephen Covey's Circles of Influence. And I love this little statement at the top here, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Something that's hugely important to remind ourselves of in the current climate. And a little model that can help really work out where you're spending your energy is this one. It's super simple. Anytime there's something that is a challenge or a concern in your life, it fits into one of these three circles, and your response depends on where it fits. So the innermost circle is the circle of control. That's the things that you have absolute control over, or not absolute, but that you can possibly control. Things like you. We can control us. We can't control other people as much as we might like to at times, but we can control the choices that we make, our behavior, the way we react to situations. To an extent, we can control our emotions. There's a whole lot about the way we act that we can control. We can control our thinking to an extent a lot of the time. So if something happens, the first question you want to ask yourself is, do I have any control over this? What can I control in this situation? Now, the next step, because maybe you can't control it, but what can you influence? Okay? Influence has to do with your relationships. So this is where your communication comes in, the relationships you have with people. We can control us, we can influence others. So if someone's made a decision or said something that you disagree with, made a call on something, you might ask yourself, how can I influence this? I can't make them change their mind, but maybe I'll consider the best approach. I'll think what motivates and drives them, and then I'll have the conversation in a way that speaks to that. So I'll try to influence them, but I can't control them. The outer circle is the circle of concern, and this is the one that's really important to get your head around as well, because there's a whole lot of stuff that we worry about that we have no control or influence over. Coronavirus, okay, for example. There's a lot though. Now, this circle, if something fits in your circle of concern but you have no control or influence over it, it's this stuff that we have to work on letting go. You see, when it comes to something like coronavirus, I can control my behavior, I can control my response, I can control me. I can potentially influence some other people and their behavior, particularly the people in my household, but maybe also some others. I might, think about the best way to have a conversation with someone who, has a different viewpoint to me. And rather than get defensive, I might think, how could I present this in a way that'll influence? But then if they choose to ignore me and behave in a different way, that then pushes the issue out into my circle of concern. And once I see that it's out there, I go, there is nothing more I can do here. So coronavirus itself, for example, it's out here. I can't control what happens in the world. I can't even influence it more than influencing the people in my sphere and relationships as much as I can. So in terms of what happens, I have to let go of that. Now, of course, it doesn't mean you don't worry or you don't have any concern. But this is what allows you to help let go. So some people often say to me, Leah, how do you, let go of things? How do you let go of anger, of hurt, of pain, of grudges? You realize that actually the only person that worrying about it is hurting is you. Okay, the only person the anger or the grudge is hurting is you. It's out here. I'm not influencing them. I'm not controlling them. So I have to let it go. I have this model up beside my desk. Anytime there's a challenge that I face, I will look at this model and go, where does it sit? What can I control? What can I influence? And what is out of those fears in the circle of concern where I need to let go of? Where your attention goes, your energy flows, folks. So if you are spending all your time out here worrying about things that you can't control or influence, it won't change the fact that those things are in your life, but it will just make you feel rubbish about them. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. Cheers, and I'll see you next week.